Hi everyone, and today we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting, what it is, the benefits, how to do it, and most importantly, the psychology behind intermittent fasting and how you can break through the mental blocks that stop you from successfully doing intermittent fasting on a regular basis. So intermittent fasting is a type of fasting, and it's a type of fasting that typically involves eating within a window of time every day. So that typically involves waking up and not eating for 4 to 6 hours from the time you get up, and then your first meal is 4 to 6 hours later, which is around lunchtime. So you have lunch and you have dinner, and you don't really snack a lot in between. So it's not like nom nom nom, like I'm Pac-Man eating throughout the window of time. It's not that at all. It's pretty just basic, like lunch, dinner, maybe a little bit in between, and that's it. And not like binging during that time either. So in the morning, you wake up, hydrate, have your supplements if you take supplements in the morning. If you have supplements that you need to have with a meal, obviously wait till later. Then a lot of people add in fasted cardio, which will again just upregulate your metabolism even more. And fasted cardio could be, you could have, if you like coffee, you could have black coffee or tea. Some people do coffee with cream or the fat bulletproof coffee. And then some people think that adding cream or doing the bulletproof coffee in the morning will get you out of your fat burning state or knock you out of the fasted state. I typically don't have a problem with it, but you just have to experiment and see what works best for you. I like adding a little coffee or a little cream to my coffee, or sometimes vice versa. I do use a lot of cream, but I do 45 minutes to an hour of intense cardio every day. So just decide what works best for you. But the point is that during that first period of time, 4 to 6 hours, you don't eat. Lunch, then dinner. That's it. The health benefits to intermittent fasting are amazing, and you could start to see results pretty quickly. You lose weight faster, you get more lean muscle, you sleep better, you're more energized. Because it's detoxifying the body at a more rapid rate, your skin gets clearer, your digestion is better. It's also been shown to reduce the risk of cancer, or if you do have cancer in your body, it helps reduce the cancer cells that are in your body, which is also amazing. And you have like more mental clarity. And once you get in the groove of intermittent fasting, you just feel good. And your relationship with food changes because it's not this whole focus on eating all the time and then having these 6 meals a day, which is not great for you at all, or your metabolism. It's not giving your body a rest at all, or the whole breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's not. I think it was mostly like that term was invented by the government to have people, eat more grains in the morning. It's not the most important meal of the day, I promise. So once you get in the groove of intermittent fasting, your health improves and you just feel great on the inside and out. It really makes an amazing difference. So, for my favorite, let's delve into the psychology behind intermittent fasting and why it's so fucking hard to do sometimes. Because if you understand your mental blocks and what's holding you back from creating a new pattern in your life, then when those mental blocks come up, you can just be like, aha, got you, motherfucker. And then you could just let it go and stay on track and successfully intermittent fast and just have it be a part of your life. Holler. So you start intermittent fasting. On a biological level, your body will be like, what the fuck is going on? Where's my breakfast? And you'll feel hungry just because your body, it has a routine that it's used to, and now that's changing. The thing is that your body adapts really quickly. So your body could adapt to this within days. The big component is our mind, because our mind has certain routines. Like I get up, I have this, and I have my coffee on the way, my sugary coffee on the way to work, and then with my treat that I give myself, and then you drive to work, and then you have this like certain routine around things, and especially at night. So we finish dinner, and then we have this nightly routine about our little snack or ice cream or popcorn or whatever it is, your chips that you like to have before bed. And those, what I've noticed, are the 2 biggest components to really breaking these patterns around food that stop you. Because if obviously if you eat before bed, that's not going to completely put you in a great intermittent fasting state. And then the eating in the morning is really important, to not eat in the morning. So what blocks us? Logically, we know what to do. And we also logically know that we're not going to starve to death if we wait till noon to eat. So what is it? And what it is that we have these attachments to food, one, and the whole ritual around them. And then two, we use food to numb certain feelings and thoughts and emotions that we don't want to feel. This is why, on a side note, it's super interesting that in every culture, in every religion or spiritual practice, at some point, there's a form of fasting that happens. And the fasting is just to kind of clear out that negative energy or anything that you might be using food or a substance for. It's just to cleanse all of that. It's interesting that it's typically around the springtime too, when people do this fasting thing in whatever culture or religion they're in. It's for a reason. Fasting helps with so many things, and you're doing that, you're clearing that. So let's take the morning example. So you're in the car in the morning. Your body and your subconscious that likes having that food, that muffin, that sugary coffee, whatever it is, or it could even be something healthier, but you're not doing it anymore. And the part of your brain that it's like, I don't like this, I don't like new things. Your brain also, there's a limbic system part of your brain that keeps you alive, keeps you breathing and your heart rate going and everything, but it also likes patterns and it likes your comfort zone, and it just wants to keep you safe. It doesn't know it's bikini season and you're trying to, drop a few lbs. It does not know that. It just knows that you used to get food, your needs met at this time, and it's not happening. So it'll be like, trigger, 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 give me food, give me food. And then the other part of it, let's say you're on your way to work and you always have this routine around certain things that you eat that are just comforting. Maybe you didn't even think of it that way. A lot of people don't even know that they're doing it until they start fasting or change something in their life. And then when you don't have that anymore, say you're driving to work and you don't really like your job and you're stressed out about something, or you're driving away from home and home life is stressful or sucks. And so, you do have this comfort around whatever your morning routine is that involves having something hot and then, whatever food you have, and it's not there anymore. Then you have to deal with these feelings that are there. And it's like, what do I do with this anxiety? What do I do with these feelings? Or what are these feelings? I didn't even know I had them. Because you're kind of unconscious to them before. So when that happens, and it will happen when you are moving outside your comfort zone or doing something that you want to do, but it's just uncomfortable at first, ask yourself, what is this about? Just be curious, like you're a little scientist looking at yourself and okay, well, what is this feeling for? What is it for? What's going on? What am I really upset about? What am I really hungry for? Deepak Chopra wrote a really good book called What Are You Really Hungry For? And it's really powerful, especially, and then moving to the night example, using it at night, because we're so used to soothing ourselves and anesthetizing ourselves with food or alcohol or TV even, but this is specifically about intermittent fasting and food, so I'll stick to that. But when you are craving so badly these things that don't serve you, you don't really need, you will not die. I mean, human beings could go for a week without food, so if you fast for a few hours before bed and in the morning, you're not going to die. It's not anything serious unless you have some kind of medical condition, which I'm not talking about. So intermittent fasting gives you an opportunity to understand the psychological underpinnings and psychological binds you have with food, and they're also emotional binds. I mean, there's a reason that we eat and gather with family for every holiday or anytime we're try to celebrate something. Food bonds you in a certain way to yourself, how you feel about yourself, to others, and sometimes they're not all good behavior patterns. They're not all good, bonds or connections, and they're holding you back and keeping you heavy and keeping you, from your greatness in general, just in a lot of ways that aren't serving you. So it's a really good opportunity, because I have clients and they're like, I'm going crazy. I can't with this. It's too much. And I'm like, you can. And the more that's revealed, they get to see how they were using food to suppress something. In fact, Carl Jung, who's a famous psychologists and psychoanalysts wrote extensively about the shadow side that we have. So we all have a shadow side. And your shadow side are these parts of your personality that come from childhood trauma or some type of trauma that don't look great. They look angry or sad or depressed, and we learn to suppress them. We get to a certain age, or we're told that, society doesn't like angry, depressed, or whatever type of malignant personality thing you have coming on from unprocessed or unresolved trauma or grief. So we suppress it, and then we suppress it with food, with addictive behaviors, and they all get, suppressed. And a lot of times, just even with, you don't even have to be an addict, but we use food in this way. And so when we take that away, we start fasting, we notice all this stuff coming up. And the good news is it can be relieved, and it's not going to stick around forever. It can be soothed and healed. And one thing I like to do with my clients is personify that person. So when you personify that person, that shadow that's not really you, it makes it easier to look at and heal. And I always say, you know what, those things come up inside you and they're just trying to be healed. That's it. So just let them up and out. So I'll take myself for example. I am Lauren. I am a child of God and the universe, and I'm just happy, go lucky Lauren. However, there is a side to me that I call Loretta. And Loretta gets angry. She used to get really upset when I would do intermittent fasting or about other things. So I'd be fasting and then I could hear Loretta like, "I'm hungry! Listen to me! It's breakfast time. We're gonna starve to death if we don't eat breakfast, like right now. Have, okay, like just one cookie. How about one cookie before bed? Or like a block of cheese. Or like a bag of popcorn. Oh my God, we could have a bag of popcorn and then watch the Kardashians." But I'll always recognize Loretta for what she is and never let her infiltrate my consciousness to the point where she can sway me, even though she is persistent sometimes. "Hello? Mama's hungry! I'm hungry, listen to me!" But I'm like, "No, Loretta, sit down." And eventually it'll pass. It always does. And the same with you. If you could just separate out that part of yourself and realize it's not you, it becomes so much easier to create a new habit. And all you're doing is reprogramming your brain and creating new neural pathways. And once that new neural pathway is set, it's just habitual. And by the way, don't even try to front like you don't have your own inner Loretta. We all do. Just have to tame her. And identifying your inner Loretta, or what some people call the ego, or that part of yourself that isn't you, is such an important aspect of it, not only because it expedites the process, but it really helps you sustain the new habit that you've created. Also, that inner Loretta, or that ego, is the small part of you that doesn't want you to meet any of your goals. It doesn't want you to have your best health, wealth, life, relationships, career. It wants to keep you small and in your place and in your little comfort zone, and it's only thinking about survival. But we're trying to be all up in thrive mode. And as a professional, I love seeing people change their eating habits and their relationship with food to a better one, or something that's serving them. Because when you could do it with one area of your life, especially food, which is something you have to deal with every single day throughout the day, and if you could do it with food and your health, then you could do it in other areas of your life, and you really demonstrate to yourself, okay, I've done this before, I've been uncomfortable, I've made the changes, and now it's easy. It's just second nature. And you can just continue to do that in all areas of your life, your health, your wealth, and your relationships. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this valuable, please share it with a friend and subscribe to my channel. I will talk to you soon. Have an amazing day. Sending you lots of love and light.